no insurrection, and to call it an insurrection, in my opinion, is a bold-faced lie. You know, if you didn't know the TV footage was a video from January the 6th, you would actually think it was a normal tourist visit.
You would actually think it was a normal tourist visit. Joining me now is the great former chairman of the Republican National Committee, Michael Steele. He's the host of the Michael Steele podcast and an NBC political analyst. He's also one of the 100-plus prominent Republicans who signed on to a statement of principles demanding the GOP reform, or else they'll create an alternative third party. The new movement is the subject of Steele's latest opinion piece for the Washington Post. It is an important read. Michael, it is very good to see you, as always, my friend. I don't want to litigate the nonsense we just heard, but if one were to start a new party or threaten to start a new party or a breakaway party, Michael Steele is somebody you'd want on the roster because you're the former chairman of the RNC. You actually know what the mechanics of a political party look like. But this thing that's going on right now isn't really a political party as much as it's a polarizing movement. So tell me what you and your colleagues who are writing about this possibility of doing something else, what does that look like?
Well, first off, it's good to be back up with you, my friend. It's good to see you, brother. You keep it real all the time, and this is an important opportunity for us, I think, to just say, look, you know, we're exhausted and tired like the rest of you. You know, I think, number one, to be clear, many of us have not left the GOP. We're still Republicans, and I don't know why there's this instant leap that, well, you've left the party. No, we're standing our ground and fighting for these principles. This is about America renewal. That's why we call it that. We want to renew this once proud party. We like the rest of America, seeing exactly what's happened inside. You know, people look at me like I'm the guy who's the outsider. I'm like, no, fool, you're the one who's following Trumpism. You're the one who's standing behind the videos and the comments we just saw from, you know, Margaret Taylor Greene and others. So we want to make it very clear that these ideas of freedom and constitutional foundations, the rule of law, these things still matter. And so we can have the fight on policy. I'm prepared to fight Democrats all day long on big government spending and programs that we think, you know, don't necessarily serve the better interests of the American people. But that's not the fight immediately in front of us. The fight immediately in front of us is about our democracy and what it means. We're about to go into an election cycle in which state after state around the country are currently rewriting the laws. We're going through a redistricting process in which the people who are going to be drawing the lines are not going to draw the lines in the best interest of the American people. So we want to make sure that we're in that space to call it out, for people to see what it is, to galvanize America around this idea of renewal so that we can all be better prepared to deal with what's about to come. Because 2020 is a warm-up, folks. You thought it was over because you elected Joe Biden? Well, look what's happening in 47 states, right? Look what's happening out in Arizona. You think it's over? This crew is not stopping. So that's why we're here.
So you put out 13 principles that are really they're really good, regardless of where one stands on the political spectrum. Democracy, founding ideals, constitutional order, truth, rule of law, ethical government, pluralism, civic responsibility, opportunity, free speech, conservation, common defense and welfare, leadership, pluralism. The idea that there can be people in this country breathing our air, sharing our politics, marrying our children or ourselves, sharing food with us, who do not share all of our political beliefs, all of our religious beliefs, all of our culinary beliefs. How do we get back to that? That you and I might actually debate policy, as you said, as opposed to this weird tribalism that we are in.
The pluralism for me is the most important part because it is foundational to the rest of it. If you create a society, a culture in which you look at your neighbor as other, then all those other things on that list will fail. You don't get to the rule of law because we see how that plays out for black folks. You don't get to, having a debate around constitutional ideas. We saw how Trump basically crapped all over the Constitution. So the reality for us is you've got to start with what this Constitution and what this country, at least on paper, tried to set itself out to do. And now it's up to us to make that real and to bring it alive. You know, I get the history I know the 400 years. I know the struggles that we've all gone through. I know what our founders were like. I appreciate that. But they wrote words that still resonate about a certain ideal and freedom. And so this idea of pluralism and all those other principles that we want to bring together, that's what this is about. That's what this party, my party, has lost sight of. It is sitting. It's like sitting down in front of a reality TV show, and it's just sitting there with popcorn, just eating it all in, oblivious to what's really going on around it. And so our goal is to turn the TV off, and to pull the party into the 21st century. And those who don't want to come, fine, but the rest of us do, and that's what this struggle inside the GOP is about.
Michael, thank you for joining me. We always appreciate your analysis and your insight. Michael Steele is the former RNC chairman. He is an MSNBC political analyst. We appreciate you as always.